There is something under my bed. I live alone in a rented apartment on the third floor of a building that looks harmless. That's what convinced me to sign the lease. Fresh paint, new locks, bright windows, the kind of place where nothing bad is supposed to happen. I needed that kind of place after my last apartment. The first few weeks were peaceful, predictable. I learned the normal sounds quickly. The refrigerator hum, the pipes clicking just before the heat kicked on, the upstairs neighbor who walked heavily at night. I work from home, so silence matters to me. I notice when it changes. The first thing I noticed was how still the bedroom felt at night. Not quiet, still, like the air wasn't moving. The first sound happened late, close to midnight. I was lying in bed scrolling on my phone when I felt the mattress shift slightly beneath me. Just a subtle adjustment, like someone rolling over in their sleep. I froze. Nothing else happened. Old buildings settle, I told myself. Cheap bed frame. Uneven flooring. I turned onto my side and slept. The next morning, I noticed my feet hanging slightly off the edge of the mattress. That was new. I pulled the blankets tighter and went about my day. The second time happened during the afternoon. I was sitting at my desk working when I heard something soft drag across carpet. Slow, controlled, like fabric brushing the floor. Came from the bedroom. I stood up immediately and walked in. The room looked normal. Sunlight through the blinds. Nothing out of place. I knelt and looked under the bed. Nothing. Just shadow, dust, and an old shoebox I didn't remember putting there. That night, the smell started. It was faint at first. Easy to dismiss. Sour. Damp. Like unwashed clothes left too long in a closed space. I checked my laundry. My trash. I opened windows. The smell lingered near the bed. I changed my sheets before sleeping. When I lifted the mattress, I noticed the frame looked taller. Not visibly, but enough that my hands hesitated. I slept with the light on that night. The breathing started 3 nights later. I woke up slowly, the way you do when something pulls you out of sleep without a sound. I didn't open my eyes. I didn't move. I listened. Breathing. Slow. Careful. Intentional. Not coming from me. Came from below. From under the bed. I held my breath. My chest burned. The breathing continued, patient, as if waiting for me to relax. It stopped when morning came. I didn't tell anyone. Saying it out loud felt dangerous, like it would make it real. I started checking the apartment obsessively. Closets, cabinets, shower curtain. I wedged a chair under the bedroom door at night even though I lived alone. Things started moving when I wasn't home. My shoes would be angled differently. My bathroom mirror slightly tilted. My laundry basket smelled stronger than it should have, like someone had gone through it. I called my landlord. He laughed gently and suggested rodents. Promised to send maintenance next week. Next week felt like a threat. That's when I bought the camera. I hid it on a bookshelf, angled toward my bed. Motion activated. Quiet. I told myself it was just for peace of mind. The first 2 days, nothing triggered it. On the third day, it recorded movement while I was at work. I didn't check it immediately. I came home tired, dropped my bag, and sat on the bed scrolling my phone like I always did. Then I remembered the camera. I opened the app. The footage loaded. First, the room was empty. Then the mattress lifted. The mattress lifted. Not suddenly. Not violently. It rose slowly, like something underneath was testing how much weight it could move without being noticed. I felt cold all over. On the screen, the camera recorded it clearly. The bed frame creaked softly. The shadow beneath expanded. Then a hand appeared. It slid out from under the bed, fingers long and dirty, nails bitten down unevenly. It rested on the carpet for a moment, unmoving, as if listening. My heart started pounding so hard I felt lightheaded. Another hand followed. Then a shoulder. A man crawled out from under my bed. He moved carefully, keeping his body low, staying in the blind spots of the camera until he stood fully upright. He was thin, his clothes loose and stained, his hair greasy and matted. His bare feet left faint impressions in the carpet. He stretched, slow and deliberate, like someone who had been folded into that space for hours. I watched him walk around my bedroom. He opened my dresser. He went through my clothes one piece at a time, lifting them, feeling the fabric, holding some of them close to his face. He pressed one of my shirts against his cheek and closed his eyes, breathing deeply. I felt sick. He moved through my apartment like he belonged there. He used my bathroom, my sink, my soap. He stood in front of the mirror for a long time, practicing expressions, smiling, frowning, tilting his head. Then he sat on my bed. My bed. He leaned back against the headboard and stared at the door, waiting. The footage jumped forward. The timestamp changed. I recognized it immediately. It was from a few minutes ago, from when I had come home. On the screen, the man stiffened. His head snapped toward the door. I heard the sound in real life at the same moment. My key sliding into the lock. On the recording, his mouth curved into a smile. He stood, moved quickly now, and dropped to the floor, disappearing under the bed with practiced ease. The mattress settled back into place. The footage stopped recording. I was sitting on my bed. Above him, my hands were shaking so badly I had to grip the edge of the mattress to steady myself. My breathing was loud in my ears. Every instinct screamed at me to run, to scream, to move. Couldn't. Slowly, I leaned forward. The space beneath the bed was darker than it should have been. Shadows pooled there unnaturally, like the light refused to enter. Then I saw his eyes, white, bright, fixed on mine. He was smiling. "So," he whispered, "you finally looked." I don't remember screaming, but the neighbors told me later that I did. Loud enough to wake half the building. Loud enough that someone called the police before I could. He didn't move. He just stayed there, under the bed, smiling up at me like this was something he'd been waiting for. The police pulled him out an hour later. He had been living under the bed since before I moved in. The previous tenant had disappeared, officially marked as a runaway. No one had ever checked beneath the furniture when they cleaned the apartment. They found food wrappers, bottles, a small flashlight, a notebook filled with dates and times, notes about my routine, when I slept, when I left, how long I stayed away. They said I was lucky. They said he had never hurt anyone before. I moved out the next day. Months passed. I found a new apartment, smaller, brighter. I checked under every piece of furniture before moving anything in. I installed cameras in every room. I slept lightly, always listening. For a while, nothing happened. Then one night, lying in my new bed, scrolling on my phone, I felt it. A slight shift, just enough to notice. I stopped breathing. The bed felt higher than it had the day before.